Commodores, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the end of day 4 of the 57th edition of the oldest and most prestigious youth match racing championship in the world. I'm your host, Tom Eamon. Joining me in a moment will be, he doesn't like it when I say GOVCUP guru, but he is that. He's chairman of the steering committee for the Governor's Cup here at Balboa Yacht Club. Andy Rose will be joining us along with the semifinalists, skippers, all 4 of them, 2 at a time, and Andy will decide who we're going to start with, which pair. But while he's doing that, I just want to tell our live worldwide audience, we're on the club's YouTube channel and on the GovCup Facebook page and Sailing Illustrated's Facebook page. And we've got a wonderful number of views already this week, thousands and thousands of views as we have gone live now from Balboa Yacht Club since Monday night, and we're doing 3 more shows tomorrow, and we'll tell you about that in a moment. But welcome to our worldwide audience. This is the end of day 4, as I said. Tomorrow, day 5, the final day, and our television production led, GovCup TV, led by Chris Bretschker. He's here somewhere. He's in the back drinking a Jack and Coke. Oh, you switched to Diet Coke. Just Jack, straight Jack. Commodore Paul Blank, Staff Commodore Paul Blank. Are you still the harbor master here, Paul? Yes, he is. In any event, this is a fabulous club, and we've been doing this, Andy, for 10 years or so. This is the 7 o'clock press conference, obviously, the semifinal presser, and then tomorrow we will be live at 0900 for the morning show, then back with live racing at 11:30 in the morning for the wrap-up of the semis, and then we'll get into the finals with whomever wins the semis, and then we'll be back in here tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, 1700 Pacific, and that's midnight UTC for the final press conference and the award ceremony, led by the Commodore and Christine Gribben, our esteemed chair for life. And we're calling her the Madame after her get-up last night. The press release is being sent out as we speak by Susan Kenny, our press officer of now many years. The headline: Tapper, AUS, Peterson, USA, Hyde, NZL, New Zealand, obviously, and Callahan, USA, through to the semifinals. Subhead there is Tapper up 2-0 in the best of 5 semifinal over Callahan. Peterson leads Hyde 2-0 in the other semi. Newport Beach, California, dateline tonight. When the round-robin stage of the 57th Governor's Cup ended today, 2023 GOVCUP runner-up from last year, of course, Cole Tapper, with his team of Jack Freeman and Hamish Voss of the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia, were tied with 2021 and 2023 winner, two-time winner, Jeffrey Peterson, with 17 wins and 2 losses. The tie-break went in favor of Tapper, who beat Team Peterson in the close final match. It was actually the final match of the rounds-robin stage. As is the custom in match racing, the round-robin winner gets to choose their semifinal opponent from among the other 3 semifinalists. Tapper chose, as is often, but not always the case, the 4th-place finisher, Justin Callahan, USA, and his team of Trevor Davis, Michaela O'Brien, and Spencer Kriegstein, right? Spencer, did I get that right? Kriegstein? Close enough? Thanks, Spence. It's a good German name. That left Peterson and his team of Daniel Pegg and Enzo Mendito to race their semi against the 3rd-place finisher, Josh Hyde of New Zealand, with his crew of Tom Pilkington, Zach Fong, and Cody Coughlin. And if you think I haven't been practicing the pronunciation of those names, or if it sounds like I haven't, you might think I'm the biggest crouton going. Thank you, Paul Blank. Somebody applauds for me. Thank you. I was not looking for some cheap applause, but here are some great photos already in from Tom Walker and others, but Tom Walker primarily in tonight's semifinalist matches, and they are going out with the press release in a moment. This obviously is the Hyde-Peterson match. Where else do you get to sail a couple hundred meters off a beautiful beach like Newport Beach, California? Peterson Hyde again, and then Tapper Callahan at a start, another Callahan Tapper shot in, I guess, the pre-start, another Tapper Callahan shot. Just amazing photos. And Tom Walker texted me just a minute ago and said that his SmugMug, or whatever the photo server that he uses, has had more views this week, like approaching now 100,000 views. So congratulations to all of you. And the fact that's more than Long Beach Race Week. Andrew, I thought you'd be proud of that. Tom told me. And finally, we got a picture of Jeffrey, the 2-time winner. We're wondering if he can win again, but as well as Cole Tapper's sailing, at least we're probably guaranteed if they get through to the finals, we'll have a repeat of last year. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, because maybe the other semifinalists still have a word or two about how this is going to come out. And that's where we are tonight. And let's get on to not so much the television sked, because we've done that, but let's get on now with Andy Rose, welcoming him to the stage for the semi-final presser.
Thank you.
May have to flick the switch on that.
Not
We're
good at technology.
We're conserving batteries here. Up. Well, you aren't good at technology.
I'm not.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Excuse me. Is Andrew's? There it goes.
I generally have a loud enough technician's voice that I don't need a microphone. Well, good evening, Tom.
Good
what a great
evening,
day of sailing.
Andrew. It's been a great regatta, a great week of sailing, thanks to you and Christine and the rest of her 100+ volunteers.
What are we going to do?
Carry on. You were going to introduce 2 semifinalist skippers.
Well, I think should we start with Jeffrey?
Your call. You are in charge.
Jeffrey and his opponent, whose name I forget, please come up.
Oh, come on. You know who his opponent is. Josh.
Josh Hyde.
Where is Josh?
There comes Josh.
Come on, Josh.
So let me start with, after the first race, Josh and his team came by the media boat just after, and I still have my headphones on, so I don't hear it. But when he said, "Come on, America's Cup, dude, give us some advice," and I would have, go faster. That was, that was an interesting race. What did you think, Josh? Our sense all week has been that Jeffrey has some boat speed.
I mean, I think we definitely found out that he had some pretty good boat speed. I thought we had a pretty good start off the line, got the side that we wanted, but unfortunately he was able to hold a pretty good lane and take us all the way out to lay line, which wasn't ideal.
And we won't actually talk about the second start. Is that all right?
That is all right.
Yeah.
Well, come on. This is a serious sport, a serious press conference. You had 2 pre-start penalties and what we used to call PMS before the women's movement. Now we call it OCS, on the course side. What happened?
And he had all 3 of those things, which is not a great way to start a yacht race.
Seriously, what happened, Josh?
I think there's just a few miscalculations, a few pushing it a bit further than we should have, but got a little flustered at the end there, which is, I guess, why we ended up with an OCS.
So I predicted before this started that, with 8 of the 12 competitors from last year back, that certainly the top 4 would have been favored to be semifinalists again, and we were certainly right about about Jeffrey and Cole. But I picked you sort of as what I called the dark horse. You've come so far so quickly and won 2 of the series in the Southern Hemisphere, which is a very impressive thing. And you did it. You're a semifinalist. I know you're not happy that you're not winning yet, but are you sort of pleased with that?
Yeah, I think me and the team are especially pretty happy that we've managed to get this far in the series, put a lot of work in the lead up to this event, and I think still hopefully 3 more races to go, so it should be a good little series.
Still got to win 3.
Indeed, and you have 2 more years in this event. So I'm guessing you might be, I'm on a selection committee and it's just a guess, but you might be invited back.
That would be quite lovely.
All right. So Jeffrey, the good news is there's a supposed curse, which I actually sort of believe in, that if you win every race in the round robin, you will not win the championship, whatever event it is. So you solved that problem, Jeffrey.
Yeah, we did it twice, actually.
Yeah, you're not supposed to go that far. 1 race will do to break the curse. But so Tom Spithill, who is our ace roving boat commentator, was saying that both you and Cole just seem to be so calm and just it's like another day at the office, and it just doesn't worry. You're going so fast that and it's pretty amazing on the water to see that. How do you do that?
Oh, I think it comes from a combination of things. I think the first one is we've been in these boats. We were doing the math that this is my 6th Governor's Cup, and 4th on the helm. Which hours in these boats, especially.
Was that including the time you were a boat hostess?
No, that would be 7 then. But no, it comes down to a combination of hours in the boat. But really what it more comes down to is, there's 3 people on the yacht and the other 2 people in front of me are absolutely phenomenal at their positions. I think Enzo and Dan make the boat go really fast and they tell me where to go, and I just hold the black stick and pretend I know what I'm doing and drive the boat in a straight line. But really...
That's what monkeys do. That's good.
Yeah, well, not all monkeys can drive in straight lines, so... Andy, you and I still have a race to settle. You always talk all this game about how you said name the boat, the time, and the place, and you said 12 meters, and I said okay, and it hasn't happened yet. So if you really want to, that whole monkey can steer thing, I think you're going to have to get on the helm and prove that, or don't be on the helm and get someone else to drive, and I'll prove you wrong.
Clearly, last year we sailed the 12-meter Defender in the annual regatta and the Worlds, and I never should have invited you. God. Talk to me about the day. Look to us, and we don't see as much as you do, but we're a little bit high. We can see some stuff. There were a lot of shifts and a lot of puffs. Talk to me about that, Josh. Start with you.
I think we had quite a bit of a tricky day, sort of spotting some wind, but I think we picked the side that we wanted most of the time and got it right. I mean, whenever we came off the line with the style we wanted, I think we won that almost every time. So you can't ask for much more than that from your team.
No, absolutely. Jeffrey, what do you think?
Yeah, it was a pretty tricky day out there. It seemed like, not very typical Newport. I think it's becoming a bit more of a trend that, it used to be, a couple of years ago, it'd build in the afternoon and start swinging right. If the number, if it started out at right of 240, it was just going to continue going right, and you'd hammer the beach side and hope you won the right side off the start line. But I think we're finding that the California Eddy isn't as strong as it used to be, and that the left has been coming a bit more into play. And it really comes down to, your crew work and making sure the phase off the line, or at least know the next shift coming down the race course, because it is not, just win the boat and tack and pin it to ley line kind of venue anymore. It's very much a very dynamic race course, and it was tricky out there today. We didn't get it right a few times. There were definitely a few shifts we'd like to have back. And it was challenging, to say the least, and we're just continually trying to fight hard, and we're pretty stoked that we've got good wheels, and we like the start against Hyde in the first race, we thought we were smoked there. He'd clearly won the right, we had wanted the right as well, and we managed to just live on his hip long enough to fold on ley line and be in a good spot to to continue on in the race. But we thought that was a major error. We missed that shift, and we'd called right, but it wasn't able to get it in the start. And I think it's just a testament that the venue is becoming a bit more dynamic than it has been in years past, and it's incredibly challenging sailing.
Yeah, I I totally agree. Of course, on that one in the commentary booth, I called go left, and you didn't. So, that happens. Um, anyway, I think that's sort of, match racing is a lot about tactics and boat speed, of course. But I think with shifting and that stuff was sort of interesting. It wasn't crazy. You wouldn't get a 30-degree or 40-degree shift and the race would become a reach. That was really, and that's part of sailboat racing. You've got to be able to get the shifts right as often as possible. So, well, guys, thank you. That was great. And Josh, you gonna have a comeback tomorrow?
Sure am.
All right, Josh is coming back. Okay, let me, before we get the next two up here, I remember Monday night I talked about our major sponsors. Terry Causey was there at the event, and I don't know if he's here now, but Rob Bray is here of Disc Sports and Spine Center. But I talked to you about this guy named Jack Crowell, who has been one of our biggest, most amazing supporters. And I went to his 100th birthday party, and I told you I had one thing wrong on the story that his son Spencer told, is that after his two missions on D-Day, he turned 19 the next day. So I apologize. Jack and Kingsley Crowell are here over on the right. I'd like to see sort of everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. Because Jack was one of those kids back then, truly kids, who saved democracies for all of us, all of these countries. And that, we can never thank him enough.
The greatest generation.
The greatest
Tom
generation,
Brokaw
without question.
and others have
So I'm
said.
so glad Jack and Kingsley are here. It means so much to me, and Jack has meant so much to the Governor's Cup that I can't thank him enough. He is so modest that, when I thank him for contributing, he says, "Oh, no, thank you, Andy, for allowing me to." Well, that's my kind of contributor, definitely. But anyway, what an amazing man, and what a different time they had to do. We get to go sailing in these fun boats and stuff. They had to go to war. What an amazing thing, and how amazing Jack Crowell is. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Andy. Nice tribute. Thank you, Mr. Crowell. Thank you very much. Shall we do the next pair?
Yep. Let's do Jeffrey's arch rival, Cole Tapper, and Justin Callahan. Can't you even shake hands?
I'll give you.
Oh, that's better. That's better. That's better. Well, all these guys know each other, but so Cole, you've been getting great starts. There's no question. I think you're probably winning more starts than anybody here, which is always a good start, so to speak. Your speed seems really good, though. What do you reckon?
Thank you, but I don't know if I would say that's 100% true. The first,
If I said it, it's true.
yeah, for at least the first 2 days, the two at the front would call aside, and I would say 80% of the time we'd exit the start going the other way. So thankfully we had a bit of speed to help us, but yeah, like certainly the last couple of days that's been something we're working on, and to start to have a little bit more success with it has been nice.
Yeah, I think, and you also, as I said about Jeffrey, you guys, the whole crew just seem so confident and switched on that nothing really bothers you. Just, oh, well, so we didn't do quite as well at that start, but we're just going to pass them and everything's going to be fine. And it was.
Well, yeah, I think the biggest thing this year has been sailing with the same group. Last year was our first competition together, and we probably weren't as confident in our speed or decision making, and just like the time that we spent second guessing decisions was wasted. And this year, like, feels like we're a lot more in sync. And Hamish and Jack have been living within 5 feet of each other for like 3 weeks now, so they sort of think the same things, which has been good.
I love that kind of stuff. I think it's, I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, you guys just seem, I use with Dr. Rob Bray. I think Tommy talked about it as forget what his term was, but mine would be sort of clinical dissection of the rest of the teams. You guys just look so confident. Oh well, as I said, we're two boat lengths behind. They're boat length behind at the start, and yeah, we'll just pass them. No worries.
I love what you're saying, but yeah, we're still working. There's plenty of things that we're making mistakes on, and we're missing shifts. And in the Jeffrey race, we were a fair way behind there and missed the first couple of shifts, and then you just got to dig your way back out of these holes. So I think yeah, we've finished up well in the end, but there's definitely a lot of mistakes still being made out there.
That was one of the last race of the rounds robin, were Jeffrey versus Cole, and that was one of the best match races I've ever seen. It was, each boat was doing exactly what it was supposed to do in the position it was, and there just weren't any mistakes. It's just that one boat's going to win by half a boat length. That was amazing. It really was great to see, and that's as good at match racing as you'll see on any level, not age limited, any level. That was awesome. So let's talk about the only issue I think right now, Cole, is that you have the guy next to you who has been, shall we say, a little streaky in this regatta, but he lost 5 races his first day and is a semifinalist. If anybody can come back from 0-2, I think it's Justin Callahan. What do you think, Justin?
Yeah, for sure. We've had an interesting regatta. We went 1-5 on the first day. Had a little bit of a reset. I think we went 5-6-1 the next day, and 5-1 the day after that. And we can really attribute that to the 3 people in front of me. Just absolutely putting in a shift to really learn these boats. It's the first time in these boats for them, and we've really been working hard over the last few days to get back on the horse and just make the semis. But yeah, had a few bad starts today, looking to come back and win 3 races in a row tomorrow.
I wouldn't put that past you. As I said, I'd be a little frightened.
He's scared. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Those 2 are scared too.
Awesome, awesome. Well, it's, Justin is not, we were talking about that Jeffrey and Cole so far have been sort of the top of the heap. Both of them have a lot of match race experience over the last couple of years. Justin, you're relatively new. You've done a Rose Cup and, in the Governor's Cup last year. But as you've heard me say before, I think that matters. And you really didn't do any match racing in the last year. You were too busy winning the Snipe Nationals and the intercollegiate, co-ed fleet race stuff. So you think it makes a difference? Did you feel a little rusty? Well, the first day you were rusty whether you felt it or not. But
No, results showed we were rusty. Yeah, we have not sailed as a team ever before. I've sailed a decent amount with Trevor, who's on the main, but we haven't really done much match racing together ever. And the last time I picked up a tiller in a match race was August, and then only 3 or 4 match races before that. So this is really only my 5th match race regatta, give or take. But we're learning from kind of everyone, having long debriefs with the umpires and asking them, pestering them with questions, and really anyone that we can kind of get our hands on to keep learning is really the name of the game, and just enjoying the great hospitality that Balboa has to offer. And we're really just happy to be here, and we'll keep chipping at it tomorrow.
May I ask a question?
I'll tell you what, if you say the boats are good, you're in next year.
The boats are great. I'll say that 5 times over. The boats are great.
May I ask a question apropos the umpires? Because today there was a lot of chit and chat between you and the umpires after, I guess, was it the first or the second of your semifinal matches? And you pulled your Y flag out of your penny, out of your life jacket. It looks like it's on a shock cord because as soon as it comes out, it disappears. And I talked to the umpires. They said they had not seen it, neither the umpire, the wing, or the chief, the chump, Damien, who's out there watching. And what was that? And then you had a lot of, shall we say, polite discussion with the umpires. What was that all about?
No, it was polite discussion with myself. We pulled the Y flag out. No, very short Y flag, we'll say that. But at the end of the day, that didn't really matter for us because we put ourselves in a bad position that we couldn't come back from, regardless penalty or not. On the start, pre-start tactics were just not there for us, and that's on me. Apologize to the team many times today because I think I put the team in the bad position. So Y flag, seen or not, didn't really matter for us because we didn't come out swinging, and or I guess we came out swinging too hard the wrong way, and we didn't even get to the start line. So we'll fix that for tomorrow.
What did Paul Elfstrom, one of the greatest sailors ever, say? If you don't have after a race, if you don't have the respect of your competitors, you have won nothing. Well, that's sportsmanship, and that's admitting that, okay, I looked at it and the umpires talked to me, and God, can you imagine I was wrong? That's never actually happened to me, but
I'm sure. No, I believe that for sure. No, we had a we went over some video with the umpires, and in my head at the time too. Regardless if the white flag cut out there or not, it should have been a green, and I just put the boat in the bad spot, and that's on us.
yeah.
Or
Well,
me.
I think you're not only one of the best sailors in the world, but also you're obviously a great sportsman, which is really important. You're going to live a long time, and that's the most crucial thing. Well, guys, Justin says he's coming back. Cole, do you think he's going to come back?
Well, we know Justin's very, very strong. He won in Detroit last year, grade 2, which is something I think no one else here has done. So, you got to put a lot of respect on him, and we're definitely just focused on the semi for tomorrow. That's all we're thinking about right now.
All right. Do we have any idea what the weather tomorrow? I understand it's not going to be much different. Anybody know? Is Bobby Steele here? Anyway, so this is not going to be the windiest week in Newport Beach, but I think there was enough there to not only sail but make it interesting. So I hope it's very interesting tomorrow. Thank you all for coming. I can hardly wait to see these end of the semifinal rounds, and then the finals and the consolation rounds. I should give a shout out to Tom Higgins from Ireland, who had a really good day today. And Sienna, who had a really good couple days. So anyway, that's all I have. Thank you, guys.
And
Thanks,
thank
Andy.
you, Andy.
Thank
And
you, Andy.
just a word about the sportsmanship. We've seen a lot of regattas over the last, 60 years.
Yeah, 60, 70, 80 years.
And the sportsmanship at this regatta across the board has been superb. The umpires have confirmed that. I have breakfast most mornings with the umpires. And it's really a credit to everybody involved, the club, the sailors, their coaches. And I see Justin shaking his head yes, and you, sir, and everyone else. Bravo, Zulu. Great job. And it's fantastic to see.
You all are the most evenly matched, most amazing competitors we've ever had in one fleet. And it's just a tribute to all of you. I've really enjoyed getting to know some of you that I didn't know, and having to see some that do know me and make fun of me, which I really don't much like. But yeah. Anyway, I mean that. It just, we've never had a fleet. Well, as we said, one of the tests is how many losses the semifinalists have. And this year, I believe we set the record. It's lots, and that just means the fleet from top to bottom is much more competitive. And that's exciting, and a tribute to the selection committee and all of your records. It's amazing. Thank you. See you tomorrow.
And with that, we will see you tomorrow. Our next show is tomorrow right here at 0900 for the morning show. Then we'll be out on the water with the 11:30 live racing. And then back in here at 5 o'clock, 1700 for the press conference and awards. Thank you all very much. Good evening. See you tomorrow.